Google Forms now accepts payments. The Payable Forms add-on allows for seamless integration of a digital checkout with your Google Forms. Install the Payable Forms add-on, link your payment provider, share, and get paid. Your customers can use Apple Pay, Google Pay, Visa, MasterCard, American Express, Discover, Cash App, Venmo, and more. Save time and hassle by automating your payment process quickly and simply. Payable Forms gets you paid.
From Colonel Samuel Smith Park at the Humber College South Campus in Etobicoke, Toronto, Canada, this is the 2024 AFL Transatlantic Cup thanks to Payable apps. It's day 6 of competition, day 3 on the men's side of the pool, where play, I guess, will almost be like a dead rubber across matches, but many sides trying to keep some form, trying to set the standards that they want to take in to semi-final stage, which will begin for men and women from tomorrow. I'm Peter Holden. Thank you very much for joining us on the AFL Canada YouTube stream of this match. Joining me today alongside in comments, you've heard him from the US AFL Nationals, the US AFL Regionals, and the 2017 AFL International Cup. It is a very good morning to Brian Barish.
A very good morning to you, Pete. A very good morning to you, everyone. Hey, the giant glowing ball in the sky has returned after a day and a half of hiding behind some clouds and rain.
And we've just had the toss of the coin in the middle, and it's won by Paul Murphy, the captain of the Irish Warriors. He'll be kicking to the left of screen, the Toronto City Centre, and the Americans will be kicking to the right of screen, which is the visitmississauga.ca end. And thanks to Vision Glass Toronto, let's take a look at the men's standings.
And remembering that the two teams are divided up into an America's group and a European group. Ireland and Great Britain at 2-0. They are in good nick to play off in the semifinals with all they have to do is win today. The U.S., the only team of the three America's teams with a victory. If they win or draw against this Ireland side, they will punch their spot in the semifinals. They also get through with a Columbia loss, but they want to take care of business right now.
And that's thanks to Vision Glass Toronto, GTA's exotic car experts, auto glass, convertible tops and sunroofs. They'll make your insurance claim process easy. VisionGlassToronto.com. Let's take a look at our key players thanks to eThere Live, our broadcast partners.
Well, Donald Purvis had a lot of the football in the last couple of games. He's going to be the key mover for the Irish and for the USA Revolution. Sam Murphy, who's been the ruck, he's got to win a lot of hitouts today if they want to have a chance against this Irish side who they defeated the U.S. in the third place game in 2017.
eThere Live, the exclusive broadcast partner of the Transatlantic Cup, eThereLive.com. Let's check out the keys to the game and what both sides need to do to win.
Well, Ireland's got to put them away early. I mean, they I think, have the slight advantage here. They have to test the Americans' depth because they're hurting with a couple of injuries right now, and they also have to put the pressure on. As for the USA, they have to manage this game well. They have to stick like glue to the Irish players because they are going to try to get first in front. Most importantly, they have a very big game if everything drops out against Canada coming up. We mentioned staying healthy. Zach Taylor is out for the rest of the tournament and possibly for the Golden Gate Roos out for the rest of the season with an Achilles injury. He's over there on crutches. So they're going to have to really rely, especially with their height, on their depth.
Oh dear, Moose Taylor out. That's going to hurt. But let's see. We've still got many days ahead, and it's both sides have got to try and get through this game to remain healthy when they come up to the semi-final stage, which kicks off for the men on Friday morning. Not too far away from beginning here at Colonel Samuel Smith Park. Conditions outside looking beautiful. It's about 23 degrees Celsius. I think today we're heading for a top of 24. The sun is shining down. No rain to speak of like we had yesterday, which came down most of the day. To get us underway for the first quarter, here's Brian Barish.
Thank you very much, Peter Holden. We're underway, and it is Sam Murphy who tapped it out, but not to advantage. There is Clyde Simpson, who's been a fixture so far, and he's going to get the first free kick of this contest off of a high tackle. And the Columbus Cats captain hands it off to Martin Del Campo, who sends this one down the right wing. It's going to bounce. It's going to skip. It's going to hop. There's going to be the fullback. Going to get it for Ireland. Swing that out to the near side. One-on-one contest, but right in front and taking the mark is Connor Power. Power with the football now. He looks to his left. Has a really good mark there, and Connor Fahey presents. Little stabby kick. It kills a family of daisies and worms on the way. Martin Del Campo is down on his knees over the top of Purvis, and the umpire says, give it to me. We'll have a ball ball up. 45 seconds in, wing position on the either live side of the ground.
Umpire has a look for the nominating rucks and will throw it high in the air. It's Owen O'Sullivan that's doing the rucking here for the Irish. For the Americans, it's Sam Murphy, and Sullivan does his own roving work, slams it on the boot, goes towards true centre half forward position to the one-on-one. Ball spilled away, and the Americans through Linvelt will clear off the last line of defence. They go towards centre half forward, trying to find Thomas Proctor. Proctor tries to harass his man, can't get it out on the outside. Max DePina, ball won't pop out to him. The Irish have it through Murphy, slams it on the boot. Now going in the direction of Connor Fay. Had it momentarily, lost control of it, coughed up the football, bumped off the ball. Coming through was Clyde Simpson at the moment, but doesn't matter for the USA Revolution because they get the footy and they look to go in the Max DePina direction. Went over his head. Good wrap-up tackle. Umpire says play on. Lenihan gets in there momentarily. He couldn't extract the pill. In goes Paul Murphy. Lenihan chasing after him. Murphy moves the football quickly. He goes to the outer side and he finds Will Bryan.
Bryan with the football on the Lake Ontario side. He's going to send this one low and slow. Nice sliding mark taken across the way. We'll get who that is and tell you that it was Paul Allen and maybe mark that down as a Payable Apps mark of the tournament. Ball drops down. Going to get picked that one up. Put his head over the football and right into the nether regions of Mark McClure. The ball gets kicked around. Long handball back. Finding O'Sullivan. O'Sullivan puts this one inboard right at the feet of his 31 there in, or 41 in McGarity, and they'll play on quickly. The ball tumbles around. There's a weird, well, we have a whistle, so all that's going to come back, I believe. No, he turns around, sending this one in off the ground, and it is going to go through forward behind. I thought I heard some whistles in there, but maybe I'm just hearing things, I don't know. And that is the first score on the Payable App scoreboard after 2.5 minutes. Ireland 1, USA nothing.
7.5 minutes remaining in this first term. We are playing 20-minute quarters with no time on, excluding for serious injuries in this contest. They were looking for Sam Murphy, went through his hands. Waiting out the back is Daniel Livy. Livy moves the football up towards his half-forward flank position. Got runners there. Murphy coming after it for the Irish. Harassing. Deneen is offering support there. Ball popped out. Hurried kick now by Will Bryan. Goes up towards the wing position. Foot race on. Trying to get there is Kenan O'Mahony. He couldn't pick up the ball. Wants to go back in for a second crack at it. His hand pass too fast for McGuinness, who couldn't pick up the pill. Now the Americans will come again through the half-forward flank position. Long kick on the left, looking in the Max DePina direction. It was way over his head and went through to the left-hand side of the big stick, which means a minor score. It's one behind apiece.
And good movement there by Gigliotti on the far side of the ground from the Austin Crows. Won a number of their 8 national championships that they've won. They'll be looking to eclipse the Denver Bulldogs for the most on the men's side in US AFL history this at home this October in the Nationals. Ireland with the ball in the back right-hand pocket. Looks to his right, now floats this one up on the far side. Big booming kick. Has a player in front, but a good job out the back of the contest. He's going to pay that mark and then play it on quickly up the far side, going and finding Gray. Gray standing with the football. Now he puts the afterburners on. Little chip kick and great job to find McClure. And Stork McClure, who was the best player in the opening game against France and who kicked 4 goals in the last game, or in that game against France, as he pounds that one on, going to get picked up and back the other way. Picking that one up was Sam Brady. Brady up on the far side now as that one skips by, going after it, and finally picking that up is Ryan McGettigan. He moves that one up on the left side. Big left-footed kick high in the air, almost taking the mark overhead, and then finally going after it on the second bite of the cherry was Proctor. And now the ball is on the ground. Little hook rugby situation as that one is kicked on. 1-on-1 contest. Ball gets knocked down off the hands of Dwyer and then sent back in the middle of the ground. Going to get picked up. Simpson lost the handle. Martin Del Campo was shoved down, no call. Over the top was Meyer sending that one on. Little handball picked off. Ireland goes the other way.
And they go through Owen O'Sullivan and goes long and high inside 50 with the kick. Went over the 1-on-1. Picking it up the back there is Quigley. Quigley with the snap. It won't bend back. It's away to the right-hand side of the stick and it's a minor score. Ireland 2 behind, USA 1 behind, and we've got about 5 minutes in this first term thanks to Payable Apps, helping sports teams simplify fee collection through their Google add-ons, payableapps.com.
Where these two teams probably going to have the disadvantage of having a little bit of dew on the ground and also a little bit of the wetness from the rain that's been in this Toronto area over the last night. McGettigan will send this one down the line. This will stay on the ground, soccered off the ground up on the far side. Going to get picked up on the far side side. Now handballs it over and going to get taken there by Liam Deneen. No relation to the Deneen family of the NHL. And that one is marked up on the wing position right in front of the AFL Ontario scoreboard. Going to set sail now. Kicks this one down along the right half forward line. Going to get picked up. Turns quickly. Great job in there by by Meyer to put the pressure on. Sending this one in towards, and that one believe caromed off the goalpost, and it did. And so all minor scores so far after 6 minutes on the Payable app scoreboard. Ireland 3 behinds, USA 1.
As the post sways side to side, a 2-point lead to Ireland. At the Toronto City Centre end, the USA King to the right of screen, which is the Visit Mississauga.ca end of the ground, as we wait for the ball to come in from fullback. Going for a run, a long kick towards the halfback flank position. Simpson, I think it might have been Shotwell that jumped up for the football then. Will Bryan jumped onto it for the Irish. Simpson was there as well. Hand pass over the top. Foot race on. First to get to it was McGettigan, but he ran out of space and ran over the boundary line and out of bounds under pressure from Paul Allen.
Ryan McGettigan, as we said, how long has he been playing? I played alongside with him with the Philadelphia Hawks. Had 2 short stints with the Fort Lauderdale Fighting Squids and the LA Dragons.
And he's 40 years old, and he's played in 3 AFL International Cups in 2011 through to 2017.
In fact, his proudest moment, he had been telling me before, was in 2011 when the first part of the International Cup was played in Sydney, and he got to play in the game against South Africa at ANZ Stadium, or whatever it's called now, Stadium Australia. That is Peter Holden from Melbourne as the ball gets sent up on the left-hand side, and it is dropped there. Deneen had it and then lost it. Played up on the far side, sending it back in quickly. Going to get picked up, and here's Martin Del Campo. Little left-footed chip kick up on the far side in front of Ryan McGettigan's mom, Kit, and the ball goes out of bounds, and we will have, I believe, a boundary throw in.
On the full.
It is out on the full, sorry. And we'll have a free kick for Ireland. They lead 3-1. Ireland, these two teams, by and large, are in very good position to make the semifinals. The big thing will be how France and Colombia do later on today. Almost taken over the top there by Anderson. Sorry, I couldn't read my own chicken scratch, and the ball goes out of bounds. And we must mention, if you've been kind of following the U.S. by numbers, the numbers are slightly changing from game to game because they only have 2 sets of jumpers.
And they thought us commentators were having way too much fun, so they thought, let's throw a challenge at you. The ball is thrown back into play. George Dwyer was at his feet. He couldn't pick up the ball clearly. It got smacked away about 20 metres defensively. Also trying to go in there was Deneen. Umpires pulled out a free kick and saying it's a USA ball on the halfback flank, Lake Ontario side of the ground. He says, let's go Wagons ho, and he goes up the line, taking the mark. About 20 metres in front of him there was the 15 and Josh Curtis, who still retains his 15. Thank you, sir. Curtis now goes up towards the wing position on the Lake Ontario side of the ground. Paul Murphy, the Irish captain, harassing, just does a scoop forward, and the umpire says he copped one in the back as he was trying to get rid of it, so he'll get the resulting free kick. Paul Murphy there for the Irish, played in the 2016, 2019 and 2022 AFL European Championship sides for the Irish, and he's just passed it off, and now they'll just go backwards, just trying to reset themselves and calm things down. McGrowarty there for the Irish. He has the ball in the defensive 50. Running at him is DePina to try and create some pressure. They go across the half-back line. At the moment, the USA are putting on a forward press, which is just corralling the Irish. They go up towards the wing position. Meeting the sandwich there, trying to mark it was Dwyer. He dropped the football close towards where the scoreboard is, being picked up there by Curtis, who fires a hand pass backwards. Pressure is coming here. Now the Irish send it back from whence it came. Coming in to try and take the mark is O'Mahony. O'Mahony settles it up now to O'Shea.
O'Shea now moves through the middle of the ground, sending that one in short. It'll roll, it'll skip, it'll hop. Going back is Anderson. Anderson says, yes, I'll take it. And now the ball goes up into the corner. One-on-one contest. There's a handball back. Here's Linfelt. Linfelt with the handball around. Tries to get that one out into the middle. Going to get picked up. The USA need to steady here, and they do through Simpson. Simpson goes back and finds Anderson. Comes out to the near side. Drops in front of DePina. And the ball will tumble out of bounds in front of the Seattle native. We are at the midway point of this first term. Brian Barish alongside Peter Holden. Glad to have you along here. The first of 3 games we'll have on day 6. It's the final game of group play here at the AFL Transatlantic Cup. Ball comes spinning back into play. Ball gets knocked down. They try, great footwork there by O'Sullivan, who plays it in the middle of the ground. You don't see too many balls soccered off the ground for marks, and then they go quickly. Going to get, and picking that one up is O'Shea. O'Shea goes into the pocket and another nice sliding mark. That's about the second one that the Irish have had in this first term, and going back to take it
just a couple of metres inside the boundary line. And just turning around there is Kevin O'Donnell. Of course, he's claimed to have once kicked 15 goals in a game. Yeah, that's his claim, of course.
Yeah, I've claimed to do that too, you know.
I've claimed to be a very good batsman in cricket. My highest score is 8.
And I've had... well, that's because you're a bowling specialist. Or fielding specialist, whatever you want to say. Here's the kick. It is up on the way. It is curving around the corner. Knocked down in front. Little soccer job off the front, but we have a whistle. And it will be a free kick going the other way for the USA. They'll have a chance to shake the old Etch-a-Sketch and drop something new. Looks like Anderson's going to get the free kick.
So Anderson just waits for the ball to come back to him, and then we'll restart the play again. In fact, I think it's 12. Might be Luke Meyer with the pill. And he'll just look around for some options and elect to go with the hand pass, which is probably one of the worst hand passes I've seen going around. McGettigan virtually sold up the creek, had to do some dancing around. He kicks it towards the half-back play position. Will Bryant for the Irish gets a punch in there. Hurry kick while under pressure from Sam Brady Bunch. Moves it inside 50. Ball on the deck, trying to bust his way through there is Ryan McGettigan. Gettigan goes in the Max Depender direction, who flew past 2 Irish players. Couldn't hang on to the pill, though. Excellent pressure on O'Sullivan behind there, with a tackle laid by Gray. Ball popped out. It's in heavy traffic in the centre of the ground. The Irish captain and Murphy slams it on the right boot. Tries to swing it around towards centre half forward. They do have the numbers back there, the Americans, on the right boot, coming out towards the wing position on the Lake Ontario side of the ground. Livy, the ball wouldn't sit well for him. Receiving now is Deneen. Deneen on the left boot. Wants to try and square it up. Foot race is going to be on here. Power running after it with Gelotti. Close towards the boundary line. It will go over and out for a throw in between centre wing and the half-forward flank for the Irish.
We mentioned the USA and Ireland having played before. This is the 7th time that these two teams have played, going all the way back to the Atlantic Alliance Cup in 2001. Ireland leads the series 4-2, and both of those victories came, I believe, in 2005 on the way to the USA, came on their way to their best finish at the International Cup, which was 3rd place. And Ireland has always been in that top 3. So no surprise that a lot of people were fancying them to win the whole shebang, but still plenty of time to go as the ball is juggled and dropped. Played a big crunching tackle from behind. Now, was it pushing the back? Yes, it was. And so getting the free kick there and going out the side was Connor Power. Power finds Murphy, and Murphy will sit and wait. He's on the wing position. And this is what Ireland does, is he goes and finds O'Callaghan. He's going to send this in. They're doing a great job of finding the unmarked defenders, and the USA defense is going to have to clean that up going forward. And that one is sent out. I believe that was sent out on the full. Umpire sticks his hand up. And we will have a restart on the opposite side of us on the Lake Ontario side as we sit in our There Live commentary box with Peter Holden.
As we wait for the ball to be thrown back in the play, the nominating rucks on this occasion is going to be James Daly for the Irish Warriors up against Sam Murphy. Ball back in the play, and the Americans did have it for a moment until, unfortunately, they lost the footing and slipped over. Having to go back in and get it again, Jacob Gross. He was under pressure, coughed up the football. Still up against the boundary line, just getting around there. Livy gets the hand pass going in front. Now the soccer skills off the ground as well over the boundary line and out of bounds on the full. And the man that is built like a brick outhouse, Paul Murphy, the captain of the Irish, he'll have the resulting free kick on the centre wing.
Murphy with the football. You see the flags behind him fluttering gently in the... We hadn't had a day where we've had a real big wind as the ball gets sent in the middle of the ground, and taking the mark there and getting paid it was the man in O'Shea. O'Shea, who plays for the Lee Side Lions, plays that one up on the far side, and it is marked once again. So, I'm going to send this one inside the 50-meter arc. Everybody kind of runs towards the football. Now on the right half forward position. Handballing it around there for O'Callaghan. O'Callaghan sends this one into the top of the goal square. Marked out the back of the contest. Oh, he was outnumbered 2-1, and Owen O'Connell will mark that down as a possible Payable Apps mark of the tournament with the number 7 in Owen O'Connell, who also plays for the Leaside Lions, making his major international debut. He strides forward, goes to the right, Gaelic kick from 20 meters out, and slots home the first Irish sausage roll of the match. For Payable Apps, helping sports team simplify collection through their Google add-ons, Ireland 1-3-9, USA 1 behind with 4.5 to play.
Very entertaining start to this match. The Americans have been certainly throwing it down to the Irish, but again, just slightly cleaner with the skills. Better connections from the Warriors have resulted in their 8-point lead after about 15 and a half minutes into this contest. Just a reminder, also coming up today at 11:45 a.m., we've got the Canada North Wind up against the France Cox, and at 2 p.m. it is the Colombo Jaguares versus the Great Britain Bulldogs. We restart play again in the middle of the ground. Matt scramble on, Libby waiting on the outside of the pack, trying to get in there is Casey for the Irish. Libby now receives the football, gets it on the right boot, goes towards the half-forward flank at the Visit Mississauga.ca end of the ground. It's Mark the Monster McClure. He's got the football, tries to go with a left-hand handball. It ended up being coughed up for the Irish, and they'll send it back out towards the centre wing on the E There Live broadcast side of the ground. Trying to get to the football was Connor Dunn, but the ball just kept bobbling away from him and went it over the boundary line and out of bounds, and we'll call for a throw-in.
Connor Dunn, vice captain, originally from Kilbarrack, is a member of the South Dublin Swans and the captain of said team. Also got his brother into playing Aussie rules, which is pretty awesome. Phillips was taken down from behind and can claim the football. Bootlegging around is Daly. Swings it around. I'm swinging around like McKenzie from Bluey. And up on the far side now, ball bounces free into the hands of Deneen. Deneen with the football, going high across and taking the mark is Shane Quigley. Quigley, who featured a lot in the opening game so far, puts this one right off the joint, up high, almost taking the mark over the top. There was Casey. Casey stayed with the football. Long handball back. Ireland with plenty of room. They'll move it on to the near side. Drops in front and picking that one up once again is Casey. Got the ball off quickly. Picking it up there is Dunn. Dunn sends this one on, and this goal is all done.
Okay.
Put that down as a Payable Apps goal of the tournament contender off number 22, Connor Dunn. And that was set up brilliantly by Casey, who picked the ball, found it across, and you saw that Gaelic kick going across the body. Payable Apps scoreboard with 2.25 to go. Ireland 2-3-15, USA 1 point.
Connor Dunn, just 22 years old, out of Kilbarrack. That's his hometown. Played in the 2022 AFL European Championships and also played in the 22 and 23 Euro Cups, which is the 9-a-side competition. Classy goal, and the Irish are just starting to creep away now from the USA. 2-3-15 to 1 behind. Under 2 minutes remaining in this first term for Payable Apps. Umpire throws the football high in the air, and away we go again. James Daly doing the rucking here for the Irish. Brings it down. Quick hands come through from Casey. Manages to release his runner. I think it might be O'Callaghan has now moved the ball towards the half-forward flank position. Foot race is going to be on here. Getting to it first before Paul Allen was McGettigan, who kicked it towards the boundary line, but they're going to clean up here through Bryan for the Irish. They'll kick around towards the pocket. Now the umpire's blown the whistle, and it's indicated that is a downfield free kick for the Irish because Bryan got dealt with afterwards, and that means they're going to have a shot on goal right up against the boundary line.
And another unforced error there by the USA, and they cannot give a team of Ireland's class, as Peter said, really some of these opportunities. It is off of the foot of Donnell Purvis, plays for the Belfast Redbacks. And he will sign up. He probably would have played in that tour match against the USA in 2018. And sending that one across and through for a minor score. 45 seconds to go. Payable Apps scoreboard. Ireland leads 16-1 on the strength of 2 goals for. As they'll play out to the near side quickly. Or look to come out to the near side anyway. And now the ball is up on the far side now. USA trying to rush it forward, finds it, skips by, and going after it there was Paul Murphy. We've called his name a few times. Tried to go up over the top, boom, crash opera in front of Deneen, and the ball goes out of bounds with 20 seconds to go in the first term.
You're watching the 2024 AFL Transatlantic Cup, the Payable Apps through the AFL Canada YouTube channel. Thanks very much for your company this morning, local time here in Canada, as the kick up the line towards the centre wing on the broadcast side. Mark taken, and the umpire says that's the siren gone as Peter took it. And the score will remain at quarter time, 2-4-16 for Ireland. The USA just the one behind. And as we said, I mean, if you look at the physical contest, Brian Barish, the USA taking it up to the Irish, but they just can't seem to do anything for the one or two times they've got it towards their forward 50. The Irish, the patience game, they eventually start to rack up the score a little bit late into that term.
It is, and their skills, I think, are much more polished than the U.S. are, at least to start this one. One of the things the U.S. isn't doing right now is they're not marking up. They're not manning the. There's in Ireland, you see this a lot, especially in the Australian game, and you see that a lot out of the back lines. They're able to get free, and they're able to just, like you said, they're being incredibly patient. All they're doing is just saying, all right, find a player, find an open player, just kick the kick, find the mark, pick them apart. Now, it's only going to be, the U.S., I think, is a little bit lucky that Ireland didn't kick a little bit straighter, or they'd be probably about 30 points down by this point. But that's going to be the key. And I think they have to focus on defense. I think don't worry so much about the result. Unless they get completely blown out here, they should be able to make it to the semifinals. I think the key is that they have to be quick and stay on them and put the pressure on, and then maybe see if they can hit in transition. But right now, the Warriors are just finding the open man, and that's why they've had 6 scoring shots to 1.
Goal kickers at quarter time look like this. It's singles for the Irish Warriors to O'Connell and Dunn. We'll take this opportunity to take a break here at Colonel Samuel Smith Park in Toronto, Canada. It is Ireland 2-4-16 leading the USA 1 behind. We'll be back in a moment.
Great news, sports teams. Google Forms now accepts payments. The Payable Forms add-on allows for seamless integration of a digital checkout with your Google Forms. Setup is easy. Install the Payable Forms add-on. Link your payment provider, share, and get paid. Players can use Apple Pay, Google Pay, Visa, MasterCard, American Express, Discover, Cash App, Venmo, and more, streamlining the process for them, all while you stay organized with real-time updates. Registrations, uniforms, races, sponsorship, clinics, coaching, training, and classes. Keep it simple with Payable Forms.
And welcome back to Colonel Samuel Smith Park at the Humber College South Campus in Etobicoke, Toronto, Canada for the 2024 AFL Transatlantic Cup presented by Payable Apps. At quarter time, it's Ireland 2-4-16 leading the USA 1 behind. Ireland will begin to the right of screen this quarter was at the visit Mississauga.ca end of the ground. And with hundreds of must-see experiences, plenty of gorgeous scenery, world-class eats, including many Tim Hortons and events, Mississauga is yours to explore. Visit Mississauga.ca.
And guess what? We were down there visiting Mississauga last night, and we had dinner, and we also checked out Streetsville, which is a cute little neighborhood in downtown Mississauga. They have a stage there, and I think on the weekend they're going to have some musicians playing. So, we went and visited Mississauga, and that's how we found out about it, through the website.
Excellent. I've got a free Saturday night spare, so now I'm writing that down. Streetsville, Mississauga, to get us underway for the second quarter here at the AFL Transatlantic Cup. Here's Brian Barish.
Thank you very much, Pete. We're underway, second quarter action, and we have a whistle, and we have a infraction, either a formation infraction or a center square infraction. Either that or it was an unfair ball up. and one umpire is checking with the other umpire. We're going to have a tiny conference on the other side here. And it is going to be a free kick.
Yeah, Irish broke into the square too early.
And it'll be a free. So I would tend to, the trailing official usually calls this. And normally in AFL games, and many games, not just in the AFL, but a lot of amateur games, there are 3 umpires. We only have 2 field umpires today. So it's the one trailing official, the one not umpiring, who makes that call as the ball goes out of bounds. 40 seconds into this first term. Ireland up by 15 points. We mentioned the U.S. has not beaten Ireland, yet as we mentioned, since 2005. So here it is. It pops up. Picking that one up is Livy. Dan Livy sends that one towards the sticks. It tails off to the side, stays in play, and now up on the far side, a chance, and it's a goal. Off the foot of Mark the Stork McClure. That is I believe that's his 6th of the tournament. And his first of the day, and the USA have entered the chat on the Watch AFL scoreboard. They got a 1-1, or on the Payable app scoreboard. I'm in Nationals mode already. A 1-1-7, Ireland 2-4-16.
So it's now 9 points the difference. It's the start that the Americans wanted to try and breathe some life into this game to make sure it wouldn't be one-way traffic for the Irish. Can they string a few together to really make a game of this? The umpire throws the football up in the air and away we go again. This occasion it's one out there by James Daly for the Irish, but the Americans will get the centre clearance. They kick out towards the half-forward flank on the broadcast side. Trying to pick it up is Sam Gilotti. He had a player over his shoulder in Magnus. Umpire said no, it was fair. The penny gets put into the ground. Umpire blows the whistle. In fact, pardon me, it was Simpson that got put into the ground. Hurry little hand pass out there. O'Mahony now takes it for the Irish. He goes towards the half-forward flank position, juggling the football. Couldn't quite bring it in. Now getting there is Ryan McGettigan. McGettigan had to go backwards to go forwards. Oh, quick little hand in there by Connor Fay was smart for the Irish, who knocked it away from him. Also getting back there is Eric Anderson. McGettigan now going up towards the half-back flank position. Jumping early was Curtis, who committed to the football. Waiting out the back there was the 17 and Livy, who got it to Curtis. Now across to Simpson. Simpson's got to dance around. Simpson got pinned, and the umpire said, "Go!" Free kick going the way of the Irish. Donuts.
And we'll have a free kick now. I think it was very close, and the umpire was on the other side of him. It looked from here like he may have gotten a fist to it, but I think that's a 50-50 call, and it's umpire's call, just like in cricket, as Fahey has the football now, sends that one into the right pocket. Drops down, going to go up into the corner. Now just trying to get that on was O'Shea, who was taken down from behind by Shotwell, and I believe they've given up a free kick. And in fact, they have. And you can give that one to Kevin O'Donnell, who plays for the Belfast Redbacks from Galbally originally. And he is the guy who claimed to have 15 goals in one game. That is a fishing tail, as we call it. I think he actually may have had 9, and now I think by next year that count will have been up to 18, and by the time his grandkids are around, it'll be 30 goals. As the kick is up on the way, it's coming back on the breeze, but it's going to be short and will bounce through. And in fact, it did hit the lumber or the padding or something, one of the the Settlers of Catan things that you can trade, and it's through for a behind. On the Payable app scoreboard after 4 minutes, it's Ireland 2-5-17, 10-point lead over the USA 1-1-7.
And for people wanting to know what Brian was talking about, it hit the post. As it's now out with Daly to send it back in for the Irish towards the forward pocket. The Americans jump early, trying to get on the outside of the boot here. Has it gone through? It has. I think it might be Kevin O'Donnell has kicked that one. And the Irish extend their lead. They go to 3-5-23. The USA 1-1-7. And we've played roughly 4 minutes into the second term, thanks to Payable apps.
How good's footy? They just went 180 meters in maybe about, 25 seconds, and they have themselves their third goal of the game. And you know what? It's so tough for the Americans to get back. And it's not even so much. I think speed-wise and acceleration-wise, they're very similar in a lot of respects because they've got a lot of quick players out there to the USA. But what the Warriors are doing is they are, as we said before, they're picking out their passes quickly and they're winning these contests, and that's the difference here.
Ball up in the air, one out by Murphy on that occasion, beating out James Daly in the contest. All wrapped up. The umpire will call for the football back. Player on the bottom of the deck, Daniel Levy. Umpire takes it back, just forward to the centre circles, favouring the Irish Warriors. One out by Murphy, got the big punch in there. Coming through, trying to pick it up is Simpson. Accidentally ran to his own man in Livy. They both hit the deck hard. And now the Irish managed to get a hand pass out there through James Daly. Sets away through his teammate Noah O'Sullivan. Goes inside 50 with the kick. Bounces off hands. Trying to come through there is McKinney. Couldn't pick it up for the USA. Ball on the ground. Livy waiting on the outside of the pack. If the ball can get to him, it does, but it's at his feet, which is useless. And the umpire luckily pulls out a free kick for the Americans and says, you can have it on the half-back flank. And they'll go short in the end to Sam Gilotti.
Good job by Linfeld to win that free kick. Sending it, nice sliding mark taken by the Stork. That's Mark the Monster McClure, as we have dubbed him, and so called because he was a Boston Red Sox prospect. Plays that one up on the far side. Good mark by Martin Del Campo, who will play on quickly. Line up from 30 meters out and kick a Payable Apps goal of the tournament contender. Gabriel Martin Del Campo from the Orange County Giants splits the hey diddle diddle, and it's back to 10 points. On the Payable Apps scoreboard, Ireland 3-5-23, the USA 2-1-13. That's more like it.
Oh, some quality football. And just to make a quick little comment as well, because yes, every now and again we have a look at the YouTube comments and they're asking about the standard of football at this level. One thing to be reminded about with particularly overseas competitions, bar the AFL London comp, a lot of these sides actually play what we call metro footy, which is 9-a-side. When it comes to 18-a-side football, they maybe play as a total of the full game, maybe 4 or 5 games a year, compared to the 20-odd that we get to play back in Australia.
And all complaints about the standard and the commentary must be made in person. So the ball comes out on the outside as the ball gets taken down off the hands of Shotwell, and we have a little wrestling match in the middle, a mini wrestling match, nothing too aggro, folks. And we'll have a ball bend slow to get up, favoring that right foot. And on a tripod right now is, I believe that's Dan McGuinness, and he's going to handball off quickly and then try and hobble to the interchange gates. Plays it up on the far side now. I think shoved down there was Livy, who was the player of the game in the last match in the loss against Great Britain. A tough game for the USA. And there is Casey up to the left side now, sending that one down and on the run. He'll line up from 50 meters out and put home a goal. Shane Quigley, a mechanical, workmanlike goal from the Irish. Their 4th of the game. They go to 4-5-29, 16-point lead over the USA. 2-1-13 Payable Apps scoreboard.
And we better put that down as a Payable Apps contender for the goal of the tournament. Why? Because he claims his mum is watching from home.
Hi, Shane's mum. Your son is awesome. He's also a good guy, although I haven't met him yet, but he seems like a good dude.
And she also said any complaints about him must be made in person to her.
Yes, absolutely.
As the umpire takes the football back, 4-5-29 Ireland, USA 2-1-13.
Very quickly, that is McGuinness who's gone over. It looks like it's his right ankle. We'll keep an eye on that.
As it goes up in the air again, one out by James Daly, taken away by Murphy, who had slapped it over the top. Now running on with a burst of speed is Jevon Mason. It's a long going goal. The ball gets out the back. Letterhead's going to run onto this and put it through for the Americans. It's goal for goal here at Colonel Samuel Smith Park. That's a contender for the Payable Apps goal of the day.
Oh, they are scribbling them down to our right, and Shark gets on the scoreboard here, and that puts it back to 10 points. USA 3-1-19, Ireland 4-5-29. And
dare I ask, are you not entertained?
Who is whinging about the standard of footy? This is bloody good stuff. And Linehan, he's another guy who plays for the Austin Crows. He's more of a half forward. He's not really called upon and relied upon to score here.
And there's another Irish player down at the moment. He's back is obviously not on the correct angle to us, so we apologise if we can't spot him. But he's in the forward pocket for the Irish at the moment. As play goes on, they may stop play shortly, so we'll keep an eye on it.
And it's going to get picked up, and that one is sent out into the pocket where it is marked off the foot of it was off the foot of Levy, and they will stop and wait. And I believe, we're not sure if they've called time off, but it is Linehan who's now from the opposite side, and now they are calling time off. So the clock will stop, and it does with unofficially 10:19 to go.
We can see a four, so at this stage we can only suggest it's one of the three players, McGrowarty, Brady. It's definitely not Murphy. So it'll be McGroarty or Brady. I think it might be Brady.
And we talked about Ireland staying healthy. They have a semifinal game if all stays the way it is, and they will have a semifinal game, most likely against Great Britain, coming up in 2 days.
Well, you talked about it on the eThere Live, eThereLive.com keys to the game. Stay healthy. And as you're right, it's a 5 games in 10 days. It may not necessarily, I don't want to say cruel to say the best side winning the trophy. It'll probably end up being the fittest side that can get through this tour de force.
Well, you and I have mentioned it. It's about not only about game management, game to game, but it's about managing over, in Australia, they play 5 games in 5 weeks. They're being asked to play 5 games in 9 days as we continue on with Linehan. He is from the left forward pocket, sending this one on the way, and it has just gone behind the big stick and the little stick for 1 point. At exactly the halfway point of this second quarter, the USA go to 3-20, back to 9 points. Ireland 4-5-29. Brian Barish alongside Peter Holden, whose voice you're going to hear now.
And they go short to Connor Power. Power with the football at the halfback flank position. Looking around for some options. Goes with a short pass up the line. And he'll move it again towards the true centre half-back position. The play coming off earlier, as we mentioned, was Connor McGroarty. McGroarty going to the tent now for the Irish for some medical attention as they swing it around towards the half-forward flank position. Paul Allen comes at it for the Irish. Taps the football forward to the direction of Kevin O'Mahony. He gets brought down to the ground. The umpire said it was fair in the contest, and the ball will be thrown back into play. Around 50 metres out from the Irish goal. They're going to the right-hand side, which is the Visit Mississauga.ca end of the ground.
Gene Casey also in the hands of the trainers to our right, and that's not a good sign for Ireland as they are queuing up over there at the tent, and the wind is starting to whip up a little bit through the eThere Live commentary position. Meanwhile, play goes on, stuck in a dud somewhere in the swamps of Etobicoke as there is a handball on. Here's a good chance. Sending this one on the way was Brian, and that one goes off to the side for a point on the Payable app score. We're back to a 10-point game, 4-6-30, USA 3-2-20.
Will Bryan, the youngest player on the Irish Warriors side at 21 out of the South Dublin Swans, as the kick in from fullback goes to 1-on-1. And Bryan, who we mentioned earlier, is going back at it with Martin Del Campo. Martin Del Campo tried to smack the ball along the ground, over around the pill. Umpire blows the whistle out and says holding infringement, and it is going the way of the Irish. And it's going to end up in the hands of the number 91, George Dwyer. Claims to wear 91 after Dennis Rodman, the worm. In fact, the umpire pointed one way and realised he made a mistake and pointed back the other way for Gabriel Martin Del Campo to have the resulting free kick. He gives a hand pass in the end. Had a player running on by. Kicking it up the line, Rob Munn, the first bloke of the USAFL, kicks it in the direction of his teammates out there on the centre wing position. Lenahan tries to get in there also as well, the number 5 for the Americans. Keith Phillips, the umpire calls for a ball up.
And that free kick given against Dwyer because he said if you're going to wear 91, you have to have the hair too, and he didn't have it. So anyway, as the ball is up on the far side now, as the kick by Javon Mason, juggled and dropped by Linehan, who is now all of a sudden on the wing position. He was up on the forward line and has moved around. Going to get smacked down, and it's going to get picked up. Long handball back. Going to get taken. A little chip kick there by Power, who has the power to, and that was about 40% power, you will say, as the ball is taken on the wing position. Commentary side. Going to send this one down. Pop free. Going to get picked up. And everybody doing some breakdancing, saying we're getting ready for LA in 2028 when I guess it's in the next Olympics. I know cricket is and flag football is. I guess breaking is coming back in 4 years. And the mark is taken and sent down the line once again by Livy. Livy sending this one up on the far side now. And going to get sent in, going to get, misses one defender, throws that one onto the left, and presenting good spoil there out the back. Doing a good job was Meyer, and Kansas was able to punch that one away. Now we're playing aerial ping pong, looking for DePina over the top. We couldn't find it. They are there, and now they're playing aggro twister. It's right foot green, left foot green. Wait, there's only one color out there, and the ball is cryogenically frozen in there just like Walt Disney's head, and we'll have a ball up on the Lake Ontario side with 6 6.5 to go in the first half. USA trails by 10.
Umpire throws the ball high in the air. One out again by James Daly. Here's a little slap back over the back of the head by Darren O'Dwyer to try and bring the advantage to the Irish. Good little run down there. And coming back out with it for the Americans is McKinney. McKinney goes out towards the centre wing position. DePina lost his footing at the crucial moment. Did he cop one in the back? No, said the umpire, it's play on. And giving quick little hand passes Deneen. The Irish move it towards their half-forward flank position. Jevon Mason tries to jump from behind, but he had a hand on the player's shoulder as he did the jump. And that player was Alan Daly that he gave away the free kick to. Alan Daly now goes inside 50 with the kick. It's a long ball. Got out the back. Derek Shotwell is there, playing almost a sweeper's role. A little grubber kick along the ground. Got easily picked off. Here's a swinging shot at goal. It's through! Another one for the Irish, and they go out to 5-6-36. And for the Americans, they're 3-2-20. 5.5 minutes remaining in this second term, thanks to Payable apps and, of course, helping sports teams simplify fee collection through their Google add-ons, payableapps.com.
You know, Pete, we've seen a lot of Irish players come through the AFL, AFLW, and also through the state leagues. And one of the interesting things, I mean, I say almost all of them have played Gaelic football. And we talked about the Gaelic style of kicking is across the body as opposed to Aussie rules where you kick the ball straight on. And usually, if you've seen players, especially at that top level, they've played enough AFL and AFLW play, and in some cases the lower, to really kind of get away from that where they're coming straight on. But I would say at least 4 of the goals here have been across the body, which has been just a very interesting observation. Again, looking for Stork McClure, finds DePina. DePina breaks one tackle, sends this one goalward on the way, and Max DePina's on the scoreboard. A quick reply by the USA. The Irish cannot shake the revolution, and it's back to 10 points with 4.5 to go in the first half. Ireland 5-6-36, USA 4-2-26.
I love it. It's like the old song, anything you can do, I can do better. We're just loving the shootout at the moment. And I should mention earlier that Irish goal that was kicked in the forward pocket was Connor Dunn, so he's got 2 so far for this game. But Max DePina, they call him Thunder, acted in a number of commercials, including for McDonald's and Sportsbet. And when he was in Australia, not only was he recently playing with Yarra Glen in the AFL Outer East competition, he also played with Melbourne Uni and Fitzroy in the VAFA, which is the Victorian Amateur Football Association, where they don't get paid, allegedly. As the umpire has the football back in the middle of the ground, will throw the ball high in the air again. Doing the ruck work here for the Americans is the number 20, and Lindfelt, and they move the ball in towards the forward line, chasing it up there with a little give off handball and a snap on goal. It was the hand pass originally came from McGettigan, and it put it into the hands of number 6, Aaron Gray, and it's away to the left-hand side for a minor score. So it means the Americans move to 4-3-27, Ireland 5-6-36.
Oh, goodness. This is a game, folks. We're thoroughly enjoying this one. We hope you are as well. 3:15 to go. They'll come out to the near side, will the Warriors. Everybody rises above me, looking so lovely. McKinney got a handful, looks for the handball in, looking for Simpson, but finding the grass. They wanted a call there, and it is going to be a high contact. Sending that one in the middle, punched away by Mason, but right into the waiting arms of Deneen. Deneen sends this one down the guts, up on the far side now, and going back to get it now. 2 of the Warriors there. Sticking his neck in there was Brian. And every time Pete says, Will Bryan, I go, Will Bryan what? What do you want me to do? As the ball goes in, a little chip into the middle of the ground, and it is marked and picked off by Jevon Mason. And here we go back the other direction, off the hands of Shotwell, taken down there by Linehan. Ball gets moved forward. Linehan gets pushed down in the back. Yup, he'll get the free kick as Owen O'Connell gives it away with 2:20 to go.
Linehan with the football, wants to go with a spearing pass. It was at the feet of his intended target. That didn't help at all. They're going to jump on Stacks on the pill, and the umpire pulls out a free kick. Connor Fay will take it away here for the Irish, giving away against Proctor. Fay will now go towards the the half-back flank, rather, on the Lake Ontario side of the ground through Liam Deneen, who goes up towards the centre wing position. You can see the Irish are doing the chip game at the moment. They're just trying to calm things down. Oh, dear oh me. Paul Allen, he's like a bad Saturday night club DJ with the bass, dropped everything, and the ball is now going to the possession of Brian, who was besieged upon straight away. Coming in there is McGinnigas for the Irish. Hurry kicking towards the forward line. One-on-one contest. Ball got out the back. Linfeld goes with a hand pass while under pressure. Coming in after us again is McKinney. Paul Murphy comes at it for the Irish. He's on the ground. He spins around. He's brought down to ground quickly by Josh Curtis. And the umpire calls for a ball up near centre half forward for the Irish. They're going to the visit Mississauga.can.
And as Ireland chips the ball around, they're going chip, chip, Chipadelphia. Chip, chip, Chipadelphia. Out to the near side. Handball to Del Campo. Little 1-2 is good with Simpson. Looking for Shotwell. Nice mark. Or rather, that's DePina. There's Max DePina. We'll talk about him in just a moment as he sends this one into the middle of the ground off the chest of McClure. And then he's bodied off the ball. Going to get it and picking that one up was Brady. Brady has a bunch of players around him. There is Linfeld, who just wanted to get the ball free, did the Phillips, who lost the handle, and then a big boom crash opera as Dwyer was able to win it from McKinney, plays that one out into the middle of the ground, and there is Gelati, who wraps his man up for Christmas. Mentioned Max DePino, a little bit of extra there, but it will be a ball up, and just mentioning DePina, I remember at the 2016 Western Regionals when he just started playing and how excited he was to be involved. It's amazing being in my position around the USA players, watching some of these players grow and develop. And
trying to get through there momentarily was the 17 in Livy for the USA, and the umpire blows out the whistle and says that's a free kick to Linehan. He's got to move quickly. He's got less than 7 seconds. He's got to hit a target, and he doesn't do so. Murphy's got it. His swing around is dangerous as the play gets done behind play. The mark taken and running on is Connor Fay as the siren sounds. An appeal for holding the ball. The umpire says, I'm not buying it. And that is half-time here at Colonel Samuel Smith Park at the Humber College South Campus in Etobicoke. 5-6-36 for Ireland, 4-3-27 for the USA. And the Americans have managed to claw their way back into this contest.
Yeah, a much better quarter from the much better quarter from the USA. Doing a very good job of picking out. They were doing what the Irish were doing to them in that first term, and I'm really impressed, especially we see Linehan with some of those goals. DePina is presenting really well. Shotwell, we're seeing a lot more of Keith Phillips as well. Aaron Gray getting him to the act. So they are very, very slowly starting to equilibrate the game. Hopefully that slow first quarter doesn't end up being the difference.
Let's take a look at the goal kickers up until half-time for the Irish Warriors. It's 2 to Dunn, singles to O'Connell, Quigley and O'Donnell. For the Americans, it's all singles to Pina, Linehan, Martin Del Campo and McClure. Of course, we'll be giving away at the end of the game our Powerwood MVP. Custom seater supplies done right, powerwood.com. Who's some of the players standing out for you, Brian Barish?
Well, for Ireland, I think Brian's getting a lot of the football. I like watching him. Connor Fahey, I think, is especially buzzing around the middle of the ground. I think that's a good name to keep an eye on. Of course, Donnell Purvis is doing as well. For the U.S., I think the guys I mentioned, I mean, DePina, like I said, he's presenting really well, getting a lot of leagues. Linehan really is taking control in that second half and in that second quarter. And so those are a couple of the guys we'll be keeping an eye on for Powerwood. Once again, custom cedar supplies done right. Cedar suppliers based in Western Canada.
Umpires walking off the ground with the football thanks to the Australian High Commission to Canada, sponsoring all the balls used throughout this tournament, responsible for advancing Australia's interest in Canada, canada.embassy.gov.au. Peter Holden and Brian Barish with you at the 2024 AFL Transatlantic Cup here in Toronto, Canada. This is game 1 of the matches today on day 6, the final round of the men's in pool play, coming up at 11:45 local time. Canada and France at 2 p.m, Colombia and Great Britain. We'll take this opportunity to take a break. It's Ireland leading by 9 points at half-time.
Footy fans, you need to know about AFL Canada Shop. AFL Canada Shop has great items, whether you are a player, a coach, an umpire, a fan of Team Canada, or helping to grow this great game. Plus, AFL Canada Shop sells the highest quality Australian footballs at the best price anywhere. And we ship everywhere in the footy world. So visit AFL Canada Shop today at aflcanadashop.ca.
And welcome back to Colonel Samuel Smith Park at the Humber College South Campus in Etobicoke for the 2024 AFL Transatlantic Cup presented by Payable apps, helping sports teams simplify the fee collection through their Google add-ons. PayableApps.com. Peter Holden and Brian Barish with you for day 6 of the AFL Transatlantic Cup. This is game 1 of 3 games for men. This is the final round, obviously, Brian, men. As much as it's not official yet, it is very likely we're going to have a Canada-USA and Ireland-Great Britain matchup in the semi-final stage on Friday.
I mean, a USA victory will assure them a spot in that semi-final. Ireland, by and large, are already in. I think France would have to lose by a whole bunch. A win would do the same. But, yeah, U.S., all they have to do is really keep the game relatively close, and they should be okay.
Umpire just making sure that all is in readiness. In about a minute's time, we'll be getting underway here for this third term. Reminding you, we've got 2 centre circles at the moment. They're rotating back and forth because what they're trying to do with 30 games of football in 10 days, they're not trying to wear out the grass. And you might just see some faded painted lines between the 2 circles. That will be our main centre circle on grand final day.
Underway third quarter as Murphy is in there against Jason Brown. That's with an E as the ball gets knocked forward into Murphy's breadbasket. Handballs it around, looking and sending that one forward is Livy into the pocket. Drops in front of a 2-on-2 contest. Out the back there is DePina, who got pantsed almost by his opposite number 1, but did get the football off to McClure. Ball, cried the crowd. Ball, says the umpire, and a great tackle as taking that one there out of the back was O'Callahan. O'Callahan with the football in the left back flank. Comes out to the near side, and that one will send in and tumble out of bounds. We'll have a boundary throw in 35 seconds into the quarter.
Right near our eThere Live broadcast position. Visit them online at etherelive.com. They're our official broadcast partners, and they have been doing a magnificent job here in Etobicoke, filming what's going to be 30 games of football over 10 days. As the ball is thrown back into play, play on is the call you heard with Murphy from behind. At the front of the ruck contest was Jason Brown for the Irish. Ball now being picked up here by Liam Deneen, who's having to run backwards. Goes with the hand pass to Murphy. Murphy swings it around towards the half-back flank in front of our broadcast position. Power is met heavily from behind by McKinney. Going the run down there is Simpson. Ball spilt out, taken away by Purvis. Purvis with a hand pass back towards centre half-back. Here's a little chip kick that's gone too far over Connor Power's head. Ball over the boundary line and out of bounds. We should mention the men are not playing the same rules as the women. The women are playing like AFLW rules with last disposal out of bounds. For men, it's the traditional rules. So if the ball bounces before it goes out, we have a throw-in.
Ball comes spinning back in the play right in front of us in their eThere Live commentary position. And the ball gets knocked down into the hands of Dunn, who was tackled quickly in there by Sam Murphy of the LA Dragons. He played out in West Perth for a time, and also captain of the LA Dragons since 2020. Played football for the University of Connecticut. Go Huskies. As the ball gets knocked down, and in the back is called, and it will be a free kick going the way of Keith Phillips towards the Visit Mississauga end, and he says, let's get in. He says, let's go, nerds. We're going to go visit Mississauga. Here is Curtis, who got held back, put in a big pitchfork handball over the top. Staying after it is McClure. Handball up into the middle of the ground, looking for Curtis, and then off the side of the boot, off of Stork's foot, and going back to take it is Brian. Brian stands in the true center half-back position, and he will take his time. Looking out to the near side now. And he's got Fins to the left, Fins to the right, and he's the only bait in town is sending this one down the line, off of hands, and wrapped up with a big old bear hug by Zach McKinney. And the Zach McKinney bear hug is not necessarily a terrible thing to have, but it won't advance the football anymore, and we'll have the ball up right in front of us.
Played in Australia for De La Salle in the VAFA as the ball gets thrown up in the air. Trying to get the kick away as Dwyer, but kicked it right in the back of an American player, but it bounced out, fortunately, to Purvis. Purvis now goes towards the half-forward flank, Lake Ontario side of the ground. Foot race is going to be on here. McGettigan tries to kick the football off the ground. Goes again at it for the second effort. Picks it up and kicks it long out towards the centre wing position. Meets a target in Lenahan, who comes out to meet the football. Lenahan now, coming out to meet it, and it gets knocked away by Will Bryan over the boundary line and out of bounds. The kick originally coming from the number 5 in Keith Phillips. So we'll have a throw in on the half-forward flank. The Americans kicking towards the visitmississauga.ca end of the ground. In fact, probably more between centre wing and the half-forward flank. Nominating rucks on this occasion is going to be Jason Brown versus Sam Murphy, as the ball is thrown back into play. Missed both rucks. Murphy goes at it. He is wrapped up. And the umpire says, I'll call for a ball up.
Ball up will occur on that far side. Brian Barish alongside Peter Holden. Great to have your company on a beautiful, beautiful Wednesday morning here in Toronto. We'll be here until Sunday, and if you're in the area or know somebody in the area, you should come hang out with us as the wind starts to pick up. This is, I think, the blustriest wind we've had all week so far. Phillips, who used to play football at Hampton-Sydney College in Virginia, spun round right, baby. It will go and get picked up on one hand, and then he dropped with the football. Did Simpson earn the free kick? No, he didn't. And he didn't have clean possession there, did Dwyer. And he finds a man in the middle of the ground in Power. Power goes out to the near side. Gonna skip, gonna hop. There is the captain there in Murphy, who swings around on a sixpence and then drop the pill. Gonna get picked this one up. There is McKinney. McKinney looks to the near side. Gonna get picked up by Tykowski. It's a worm-burning punt, and it will bounce out of bounds. Murphy wanted deliberate, but I think more of a chance of me sprouting wings than that happening. And, oh, look, I'm gliding. Oh, look, there are the wings. Oh, never mind. It will be a boundary throw-in.
No plug for Red Bull as the ball gets ready to be thrown back into play. The ball, of course, sponsored by the Australian High Commission to Canada, canada.embassy.gov.au. As the ball is thrown back into play, Murphy now doing the rucking. Ball spit out to Phillip. He caught one in the back, and the umpire says to Murphy, you can't ride him like that. This is not a rodeo. And he pushed him again. In fact, it was Jacob Gross that copped it, so it's a 50-metre penalty. So what happened was Murphy, to try and balance himself, put the hand in the back of Gross, who was trying to get up. And as much as it might be quote-unquote accidental, finish quotes, it still results as a 50-metre penalty. So Jacob Gross with the football. He also does track and field and likes to play American football. This is his third year playing footy at Sherrod, Illinois. Puts it through the high diddle-diddle. We got a ball game here at Colonel Samuel Smith Park, just on the shores of Lake Ontario in Toronto. It is the USA 5-3-33, Ireland 5-6-36.
Further below Lake Ontario takes in what Lake Erie can send her, sang the late, great Gordon Lightfoot. We are in Canada after all, and half a goal separates the sides. And Jacob Gross, you know, we've talked about, he plays for the Des Moines Roosters, and we mentioned this a couple of times, and a quick shout out to Donnie Hess, who we know is watching back in the capital of the Hawkeye State. A lot of the clubs, you know, there's a 50-50 rule in the USAFL, so at least half the players in the USAFL lineup have to be Americans or locals. The Roosters have not had that problem. They have only had about one American in all their time as Mason runs 15 meters almost exactly. Man, Paul Murphy juggled into...
That yard to meters conversion, I don't know about, right. I thought that was 25.
I was going to say, that was that's the longest 15 meters I've ever seen. That, too, is a fish story.
As the kick out from the Irish now goes towards the... back flank position, out of bounds on the full as they were trying to find O'Sullivan. He ran out of space. So an American free kick between centre wing and the half-forward flank. They'll look around for some options. They'll try and go inside 50. It's Gross again, and he's got a paddock to work with. And unfortunately, his kick, though, was well wide when they're trying to find Gross out of bounds on the full. They'll be spewing that because Gross had so much space. It was incredible. He could have built a small hobby farm.
Yeah, I was going to say he had enough room to serve dinner.
Oh, okay. Oh. Now there's a chat between the umpires. This is very interesting when it comes to out of bounds of the full. If a player originally gets the ball because of an out of bounds of the full free kick, kicks the football but doesn't re-enter play and the ball stays out of bounds on the full, it is actually then a throw-in.
Ah, interesting. Yeah, I mean, that is that's an unforced error, essentially. One-on-one contest in the ruck. Sam Murphy knocked the ball down, going to get sent back the other way, going to get punched from behind, and almost taking the mark, flying in was O'Dwyer. And in fact, he's going to get paid that. And he's going to send this one down on the near side and tracking back 2-on-2 contest. The two Irish players took each other out, and that will allow Clyde Simpson to gleefully skip up the goodies and send a Betsy Crocker / Barry Crocker kick out of bounds in front of Quigley.
Quigley is holding his left ankle, pardon me,
no.
So that it's Quigley that is the one of the players that are down. There's two Irish players. They're still down at the moment. I think one of them is getting up, says, look after the other bloke. I'm feeling a lot better than that. One of them's got up okay, but Quigley at the moment, one of the other players that was down, they got it was Connor Dunn, but Quigley immediately went to grab his left ankle, and they've stopped the clock for the injury.
And that is not good. And Quigley, we saw I think it was McGinnis who was over here earlier, and I'm just checking. Nobody's over at the moment, so they've all gone back to the bench, but they are literally carrying him off the field, and that is not a good sign. And as we've mentioned, the Warriors have been banged up in this game, and that, unfortunately, was friendly fire.
It's the one thing that I've been talking about at the start of the tournament where we're covering the women's games in day one, and that's squad depth, and that's about rotating. And there's, unfortunately, in games like this, as much as a great contest, it's technically a dead rubber. You've got to make sure your best players are not playing or are rotated frequently because you want to reduce the risk to injury.
Yeah, we'll see what adjustments are made in the fourth quarter, or if they just say, look, we want the victory, as the ball gets held up in the breeze off the foot of Murphy. Going to get picked up by Casey. Tried to send the ball forward into the middle of the ground, and it's going to get marked. And he'll have a chance from 50 meters out, and turning around, it is O'Mahony.
George Dwyer, number 91.
91. Well, I saw the 9, and that is Dwyer. So Dwyer will step in. When he gets boot the ball, he'll be about 47 1/3 meters out. The kick is up on the way. It has the distance, doesn't have the direction, stays in the field of play on a snap, and that is hang on, no, it just went over the goalpost as never nervous Donnell Purvis just put that one directly over. In fact, it may have been O'Donnell.
That was Purvis.
It is Purvis. Never nervous Donald Purvis will stay with that, and it is through 4 behind. So it's now 4 points, 5-7-37 to 5-3-33. That's our first point in a while.
And we're about halfway through this third term as the mark is now taken by the big number 20 for the USA, and Tim Linfeld. Linfeld now goes in the Max DePina direction. He had to back up because he saw Martin the Monster McClure coming at it. He's got to dance around, gets through traffic. McClure kicks towards the half-forward flank. DePina had his back turned at the crucial moment. Alan Daly tried to get a hand pass away. A little bit of niggle going on behind play as well. It's all getting testy out there at the moment. They're jumping on the football. The umpire blows the whistle, says there's no opportunity, and we'll call the football back. It's Paul Allen and Josh Curtis. They're getting stuck into each other at the moment. They're exchanging insurance details as the ball is thrown up in the air. If you want your insurance claim process made easy, mate, you should have gone to Visit Glass Toronto. Now coming across there is Martin Del Campo. He can't get in there. Oh, McClure had his head taken high, but because he's ducked, the umpire was blindsided and missed it, and it's a free kick. It's a ball up. Around between centre wing and half-forward flank for the Americans.
And I was going to see that. Remember, there's only 2 of them out there. There's only so much you can see. Sam Murphy gets the knockdown, but not to advantage. His power turns around. Ball gets knocked down. Overrunning it was Mason. We have a free kick. They want the 25-meter or the 50-meter penalty. They're not going to get it, and it is Paul Allen, not the owner of the Trailblazers, but he'll swing it out to the outside. Having one and dropping it there was Alan Daly. And Daly, who has been here every single day, oddly enough, as he sends that one out to the far side, looking for O'Shea. Trying to let the ball forward there was Tykowski. Check that there was Gelati. Setting that one back the other way. Going up and trying to take the mark was not McGettigan, but in fact it was somebody else. In fact, it was Mason. Ball goes to ground. Going high up in the middle of the air. Once again, it's Daly who watches the ball go out of bounds in front of Bill and Kit McGettigan, and will have a boundary throw in with 8.5 to go third term.
Umpires pulled out a free kick going the way of the Irish on the half-forward flank, Lake Ontario side of the ground. He's going to get on the left boot and go long towards the true centre half-forward position. The ball just didn't hit any targets. Gabriel Martin Del Campo had the football, made a burst of speed through the middle, but copped it straight up to Alan Daly. Alan Daly kicks it inside 50. Ball went over the head there of Jevon Mason. Ball got out the back. Here's for O'Dwyer. O'Dwyer towards the top of the goal square! Mark taken, goal.
No,
he's missed it.
He's missed it.
Oh, dear oh me. That is Darren O'Dwyer there that's taken the mark and kicked a point. Oh, dear oh me. He's had a Barry Crocker. A shocker.
Oh, my goodness. That was uglier than my 12th grade Spanish teacher. What on earth just happened? And the U.S. got absolutely let off. Still a kick, separates the sides. 5 points in point of fact. Ball gets knocked down. Simpson, oh my goodness. Well, the mustard has completely come off the hot dog here at Humber College in Toronto. Then kicks, I was going to say, Max Gaughan, is that you? As the ball comes out in front. And we'll have a boundary throw, and it will occur about, we'll call that 40 meters around from the Irish target, kicking towards the Toronto City center side. As the ball gets knocked down, every horse has an S in his name as the ball gets knocked down, and in front of George Dwyer, who is betting on Super Sleuth, and we'll have a boundary throw in.
Put sixpence to Sonny Sam or sing a song sixpence as we wait for the ball to be thrown back in the play. For those wondering what the hell we're talking about, just Google the 12th man and a explicit language warning on that one. Here's the hurry kick out of the pack, and it's away to the left-hand side. I think it was Deneen coming through there. And that minor score sees the Irish go along now to 5-9-39. They lead by one straight kick. The USA 5-3-33. 6.5 minutes remaining in this third term, thanks to Payable apps, helping sports teams simplify fee collection through their Google add-ons. As the ball comes in from fullback, here's the run, here's the kick. Anderson wants to go towards the half-back flank position. Martin Del Campo was ridden from behind. Getting the kick there is O'Mahony. Got pulled down as he tried to get his kick away. Going with the snap is Kevin O'Donnell. It's right on the line. Did it get there? Yes, it did. Kevin O'Donnell, big goal for Ireland, and a Payable apps contender for the goal of the tournament. Kevin O'Donnell has got his second, and the Irish go to 6-9-45, USA 5-3-33.
And perhaps Eric Anderson just misjudging that a little bit. He did take the mark, but it was over the goal line, and the good goal, and Ireland needed that as this was turn it into a bit of an arm wrestle. We have just gotten a report that Shane Quigley has his left boot off and is currently being iced. So I would be surprised if he returns to action, and hopefully it's not too serious to where he can get he can come back for the next game. As we have a ball up, as we mentioned, 2 center circles here because we are playing 30 games of Aussie rules football. We're going back and forth between the two as the ball is up in the air once again. Going in is McClure, but first to it was Curtis, who was taken down. Check that was Phillips. Umpire says play on, but now he picks out a push in the back. It was given up there by Rob Mott, who was shaking his head furiously, and he said, my wife's the president of the league, and he says, that'll only get you so far with me. Picked off by Zach McKinney. Little chip kick over the top. Goes and finds Curtis. Curtis has a bounce. He looks up. He booms the ball into the right forward pocket, looking for McClure, but instead, a good over-the-shoulder mark taken. Wouldn't have been Quigley. I believe that may have been Brady. In fact, no, it was paid. It was pushed in the back, beg your pardon, and then going to get taken down, but all that turns to crap, and Murphy turns it out for the Irish.
And Murphy kicks the ball towards the middle of the ground, giving away a lot of height there. Jacob Ross did well. Ross now goes with a handball along the ground. Trying to get in there momentarily was Curtis. He couldn't get onto the football. Plenty of American numbers. They just can't work it out at the moment. Martin Del Campo gets pulled into the ground. Ball got sprung out the side. The Irish, though, look at that. They're just too classy. Then, picked off indeed, because Purvis was just waiting there for it. He was never nervous, Purvis, but he needed to be on that occasion. Just going forward there for the Americans was McKinney. Got on towards the top of the goal square. Ball they cried from Murphy, and the ball has gone through for a minor score. 5-4-34 the USA. Ireland 6-9-45. 4 minutes remaining. Third quarter for Payable apps.
Great job by Zach McKinney, who began his career with the Dallas Dingoes, went to Seattle, and now plays for the Austin Crows. He just came over this season after coming back from Australia, and boy, that's a big pickup. Almost getting collared there, and now getting collared by Linfeld.
Irish captain Paul Murphy is down.
Murphy down. Keep an eye on that, Pete. That is another big out there. Dropping like flies are the Warriors. Going to send this one in at the top of the goal square. DePina not able to get to it. Ball goes out of bounds once again, and Murphy, I believe, has slowly gotten up. And he is making his way slowly back, I believe. And they've been absolutely banged up in this game. And if you're the Great Britain Bulldogs, who will most likely be the opponent in the semifinals, as a free kick has been picked out.
Yeah, Murphy's going to run to the interchange bench. He was feeling around the groin area. I think he may have done a groin injury, but it's a slow jog. He seemed to be moving okay, but I think probably more precautionary. He's trying to make his way off the ground. Flying through the air. Kevin O'Donnell couldn't quite pull it in. Now the kick away by Liam Deneen out towards the half-forward flank position. A little push there in the pack. The umpire said it was okay over the boundary line and out of bounds as Darren O'Dwyer appeals to the umpire saying, did you not see it? And the umpire said, I saw it. It was in the side.
I saw it. I was right here. You could put me on the news as a witness, as we'll have a boundary throw. And I'm Brian Barish, by the way. Great to have you alongside my good buddy Peter Holden. as we march on this 6th day of the Transatlantic Cup. And whether you've been with us for a game or more, we appreciate your company. And here is Shotwell, who sends this one out of bounds on the full, and D-Shot is going to want that one back. The lone representative on this team from the Cincinnati Dockers, one of the 2 founding clubs of the USAFL back in 1996. As going to play that one on quickly was Deneen, who slalomed around his defender and sends this one inside the 50-meter arc, and it's marked by the U.S. And a great job by Eric Anderson, who said yes. And goes around the roundabout, now through to the near side. Nice mark over the top. Oh, goodness. And getting that one off quickly was Caleb Doherty. He gave it to Shotwell, that was Simpson, who was under pressure. Cleared out the back now. It's going to drop in front. DePina was front and square. Collared high. Yep, that was called. And it will go against Deneen, who ring around the collar and your whole wash clean. And Deneen says, give me the ball, or rather, DePina saying, give me the ball. And Ireland is saying, we get paid by the hour. You'll get it when we give it to you.
Max DePina out of Seattle, Washington. Minute and 20 seconds remaining in the third term as he kicks towards Mark the Monster McClure, who couldn't quite pull the football in. Close towards the boundary line. Did go out for a fraction of the second. Boundary umpire missed it. Here's the hand pass backwards. Trying to get on the end of it is the Brady bunch. Sam Brady. He couldn't pick it up. Trying to get in there is Jacob Gross for the Americans. He couldn't do so. And here's the kick coming straight towards our tent and over the back, out of bounds on the full. And the French almost got a mark. Do we count that as a possession even though they're not playing?
I think we do. That might be the first time a team's ever had a possession. No, I'm just kidding. As the ball will come in, it'll be a free kick to Max DePina, the man they call Thunder. He got that nickname in 2017 when he made his international debut at that International Cup. Ball gets slapped down towards the goal. Deneen playing defense, going to whip that one around. They swing it around now up onto the far side, and it's going to get picked off, and here comes McGettigan off the left foot, sending that one in, but Deneen was all by himself, and perhaps McGettigan should have looked up for an option. That's the problem. They're getting a little too nervous. This one is going to bring some rain when there are no clouds there. Funny how that works. Slap forward by O'Donnell. Little handball. Tried for the Grey Poupon pass. Instead, it was Shotwell who picks that one up. Chips to the inside. And it's going to be kept in by Curtis. Curtis from the corner on the siren. And it's going to get marked, and that will do it. 3-quarter time at Colonel Samuel Smith Park on the campus of Humber College in Toronto. Your score, the Ireland Warriors 6-9-45, the USA Revolution 5-4-34. The hitting is picked up. The intensity is picked up. We like to see that. Unfortunately for the Warriors, they're picking up some bumps and bruises, and that's starting to add up a little bit.
They've got to be concerned because, again, you've still got the semi-finals and the final to come. As we said, it will be the fittest side at the end of the day that is going to win this tournament, the Tour de Force, 5 games in 10 days. For the Irish Warriors, as we go through the goal kickers at the moment, Connor Dunn and Kevin O'Donnell have both got 2 singles each to O'Connell and Quigley. For the Americans, it is all singles. I've got it to DePina, Lenahan, Gross, Martin Del Campo, and Mark McClure. For our Powered Game MVP, who's standing out so far? Brian Barish.
Well, one guy who's had a lot of the ball, and I think he's starting to get a little bit more, is Liam Deneen. And we're seeing him come back in that back line there as he made a couple of good marks. So he's starting to put his name up a little bit alongside the likes of Dunn. We mentioned O'Shea and O'Dwyer and Kevin O'Donnell as well. But I'm really, right now, the leader in the clubhouse for me on the Irish side is young Deneen. On the other side for the U.S., well, DePina. I think Max DePina has really stepped up. He got that goal. He's playing exceptionally well. And we saw Linehan come to the fore as well. So some good names on either side. And, we still have, it's an 11-point difference as we head into this final term.
We'll take this opportunity to take a break. Thanks to Payable Apps. This is the 2024 AFL Transatlantic Cup in Toronto, Canada. An 11-point lead to the Irish over the Americans.
Aussie Rules the World podcast is a podcast dedicated to bringing our listeners information from international Aussie rules, from news, reports, reviews, and interviews from people dedicated to building Aussie rules internationally. During the Transatlantic Cup, World Footy Shorts will be bringing you daily updates from what's happened from the games and around the event. And this is Aussie Rules, the World podcast.
Great news, sports teams. Google Forms now accepts payments. The Payable Forms add-on allows for seamless integration of a digital checkout with your Google Forms. Setup is easy. Install the Payable Forms add-on. Link your payment provider, share, and get paid. Players can use Apple Pay, Google Pay, Visa, MasterCard, American Express, Discover, Cash App, Venmo, and more, streamlining the process for them, all while you stay organized with real-time updates. Registrations, uniforms, races, sponsorship, clinics, coaching, training, and classes. Keep it simple with Payable Forms.
Park in Toronto, Canada. This is the 2024 AFL Transatlantic Cup, thanks to Payable apps at three-quarter time. Ireland 6-9-45, leading the USA Revolution 5-4-34. To get us underway for the final quarter, here's Brian Barish.
Fourth quarter about to get underway. The U.S. has not beaten Ireland in men's Aussie rules football in 17 years. 11 points stands in between the two sides as Ireland will give up the free kick there, and here is Linfeld. They are kicking towards the Toronto City Centre end. Ireland kicking towards the visitmississauga.ca end. Linfeld will put that one on a line for Martin Del Campo. He wheels around, sends this one out onto the far side on a beam right into the breadbasket of Anderson, who has now moved up into the forward line. That's the first time we've seen him on this side of the field. Great adjustment perhaps by Strensky as the ball is taken out. And as soon as I say that, the ball has gone out, I believe, just over the boundary line, but it will be a free kick to Ireland. Out the back, now kicking towards the Bob Seeger side, which is against the wind. Up on the far side now, throw a blanket over 10 players. Ball squirts out like a newborn baby. Out to the far side now, here comes that's Murphy. That's Sam Murphy as the ball tumbles over and out. And we had a quick little halftime squiz from our colleague David Smith over there. He said that Paul Murphy, the captain for Ireland, who we thought might have some sort of groin injury, is moving around okay, but definitely very ginger. We might not see him.
As the ball is thrown back in the play, if it was the Scottish side and you said very ginger, I would have said that's all of them. As the kick now goes up the line towards the half-forward flank position, trying to come out to meet it is Josh Curtis. Ball got knocked away from them. Now going back to meet it is Tim Linfeld. Linfeld now goes up the line. Martin Del Campo takes the mark. Oh, he did a foolish thing. He tried to he got it lucky in the end that he caught one too high, but he tried to take off without realising who was around him. He was very fortunate to get that too high. Javen Mason now gets the football, runs inside 50. Mason towards an open goal square, bounces away to the left-hand side. The ball goes over the boundary line and out of bounds. 2 metres around from the left-hand point post. The USA Revolution will reset themselves. They're kicking towards the Toronto City Centre end.
Not a bad result. And of course, in Ireland, the beer is dark and everybody's hair is red. And in New Zealand, it's vice versa. As the ball comes down in the middle of the ground, ball bops up high in the air. It was a great kick. That kick must have gone about 70 meters. meters. Gonna get picked up and sending it quickly is Meyer, and Kansas sends it in, but he's turned it over. U.S. can't do that if they want to win, as it comes out to the near side to a wide open, almost, and then coming out of nowhere was Meyer, who realized, check that was McGettigan, who ran practically from Mississauga all the way over. Big boom crash upper in there, and a big tackle. Here is Linehan, who has the football. He stands 50 meters out, sets sail towards the sticks. The pack forms as he tries to scramble the Jets, and once again another contested mark by Owen O'Sullivan. Almost 3 minutes gone. U.S. still trails by 11. Payable app scoreboard.
Owen O'Sullivan, also into athletics and MMA, kicks the football long towards the middle of the ground. It went over the head of the intended target, and O'Shea, plenty of numbers back there for the Americans. They can raffle it. It's through Levy, who takes the football, kicks it out towards the centre wing on the Lake Ontario side of the ground. Gabriel Martin Del Campo with the football, gives the hand pass back, finds Jevon Mason. Mason now kicks the ball to the advantage there of Clyde Simpson, who draws the player, goes back to Martin Del Campo, kicks inside 50 with the kick, looking for Max DePina to try and run onto the football. Lenahan comes at it as well. Will Bryan there for the Irish, kicks the ball out towards the true centre half back position. Sam Murphy also tried to trap it there. Good run down from behind. Ball, and the umpire says holding the football.
And we're going to watch that Irish player, Pete, because he got caught and there was some head and neck contact in there. We're going to wait and see if he's slow to get up, and we'll see. We'll just keep an eye on who that is. And there's a 3 on one side of him, but
he's taken a Taylor Swift. He shook it off. As now it's going to be in the hands of Gabriel Martin Del Campo, owner of an F45 gym in Pasadena. Will be having a shot on goal from about 45 metres out. Slight angle. Oh, this is a big goal. This is a very big goal for the United States. They go to 6-4-40. They trail by 5 points. Ireland 6-9-45. 15 and a half minutes remaining. Final turn for Payable apps.
And Gabriel Martin Del Campo, who began with the LA Dragons and then went across to the other side, the Orange County Giants. The Giants actually the original club in the USAFL, or at least the older of the two. They were originally known as the OC Bombers until the 2019 season, when GWS got on board and said, we'd like to have you on there. Well, you have Milwaukee. Wait.
Hi, Plugger.
Hi, Plugger. Plugger is here, by the way. We did see him, Paul O'Keefe, the founder of the USAFL, as the ball gets picked up, handballs it back, and they're going to play on quickly. Ireland has been known for the quick reply, and there is Murphy. Or let me tell you, he does not look comfortable at all. He is not. He is looking like he is walking around like a horse needing to relieve himself. Handballs it in, out the bootleg, get the little half-back option. Sending that one on was O'Mahony, and here comes Linfeld. Gets a block there from Doherty. Sends this one out to the near side. 2 men are there, and the mark taken by McGettigan on the E there, live side of the ground.
I can tell you that Murphy called the player towards him because he couldn't kick. That's why he had to get the hand pass away, and Murphy's immediately gone to the bench. So that groin is certainly giving him some trouble. Now it's Josh Curtis, who kicks it towards the half-forward flank position. Was trying to find Eric Anderson. Got knocked out of his hands. Big run down from behind. The umpire says holding the football. And pinned on that occasion is Kevin O'Mahony. Now taking it away is Eric Anderson. Kicks inside 50. Was looking for Mark the Monster McClure. Couldn't get to him. Going after it again is Aaron Gray. He is pinned. And the umpire says holding the football. And that's going the way of the Irish. And Connor Dunn, who's found himself in defence after he's kicked 2 so far today.
And the Magnets, as you say, Pete, have been moved around pretty significantly. 5 points separate the teams. Still almost 14 minutes gone. Picked off by Linfeld. He looks to the left. He's the oldest player on the team at 41. And it is going to be a mark taken. This is Gelati, left-footed kick, looking for over the back McClure. That's going to be paid as he stuck his knee in his back. It's going to be high contact. And here is Stork, and he can kick. He can put his team in the league. I don't think the distance will be a problem here.
Yeah, it was given away by Sean O'Callaghan. Went way too early, put the knee in the back, and the umpire rightly said, yep, that's in the back free kick.
And so here is McClure from Columbus, Ohio. The man plays for the Columbus Cats. He'll walk in from 52 meters out, send on the way, got under it a little bit, not going to have the journey and not going to have the direction. And ball goes out of bounds, and somebody, I think, copped a finger to the eye. And they're just having a little discussion there. It is going to be a free kick. It did go out on the full, so a wasted opportunity. And here's James Daly, who will play it up on the far side. Daly of the Lee Side Lions. Seems like a lot of Lee Side Lions players on this Irish side as they play up on the far side now, looking to release, sending this one down the line. USA having a little bit of the momentum right now as they give that one back. Sending that one on was Proctor into the waiting arms of Max DePina. Thunderbolt and lightning, very, very frightening right now. And DePina will walk back. He already has a goal to his name. I think he might be one kick, especially into this wind. Might want to see if some of these guys can present an option. I see Giuliotti standing around. Maybe he should lead. Maybe Livy should go in the middle. Right-footed kick. Oh, I think he heard me. It's in front. Ball is loose. It's cleared out. Now chasing after it is Curtis. He's going to pick it up. He goes left. He goes right. He's going to get pinged. Oh, there was no help for Josh Curtis, unfortunately. They had all backed off the ball, and unfortunately, he was out by himself on an island. I was going to say on an Ireland. He may have been on an Ireland island, but it will be a free kick to the Irish, who are clinging to that 5-point lead, and their backs are up against the wall, it seems.
Richard Clapton, I am an Ireland, as he kicks the football long towards the half-back blank. Now half-forward flank is taken by Simpson, who took on a player, gave away the hand pass. The Americans handball it around through Murphy. Mason was there for an option if they wanted to use him. Ducking and weaving there is Levy. He had to go sideways to McKinney. Now moves it out towards the half-forward flank position, right up against the boundary line, having a snap-on goal. It's going to swing around towards the top of the goal square. Curtis is there. He's got 3 Irish on his hammer. Handball again. He's got no one to go to. Has Curtis not showered in 3 or 4 days or something like that? Because none of his teammates want to be anywhere near him. Mason now gets it for the Americans. The shot at goal. Has he put them in front? He has! That's Brian Barish, who just burst my eardrums. And the United States 7-4-46. Lead Ireland 6-45. We've got 10.5 minutes remaining in the final term. Thanks to Payable Apps, helping sports teams simplify fee collection through their Google add-ons. PayableApps.com.
I forgot we were wearing headphones. Sorry, Pete. What a goal by Javon Mason from the Portland Steelheads.
Irish eyes are smiling. My ears are bleeding.
A man who has been to 15 different countries. He also plays spike ball. That's a sport I'm still trying to learn a lot about.
You see it on ESPN every now and again
yes.
when they do the Ocho.
Unfortunately, you see it more than Aussie rules football, and why is that? As the ball comes out to the near side, the U.S. has the lead. My goodness gracious. Oh, big tackle from behind. I think he's going to get claimed. Yes, he is. He didn't see anybody behind him there. And as the ball comes out on the far side, and now it's going to get picked up. Here is McKinney. McKinney goes left, goes right. Oh, big smother. And he marked upon it, did Dwyer. He marked upon it, returned to sender. But address unknown.
As the ball goes over the boundary line at the visitmississauga.ca end of the ground. Who's down, Brian?
Looks like that's Linfelt, who is slow to get up.
24.
Oh, check that. That's McKinney, who's slow to get up.
And, of course, we're at the visitmississauga.ca end of the ground with hundreds of must-see experiences, plenty of gorgeous scenery, world-class eats and events. Mississauga is yours to explore. Trying to get in there and explore for a moment was Keeper O'Donnell for the Irish. As the hand pass is close towards the boundary line, they're screaming for deliberate. The umpire says, I'm not paying that. And we'll throw it in 45 metres out from the Irish goal. They find themselves down by 1.9 minutes remaining in this final term. Plenty of time for plenty of scoring from either side.
Ball comes spinning back into play. What a game this has turned out to be. We knew it was going to be close. We knew it was going to be a good contest, but this is the biggest test that Ireland has faced so far in their 3 games. Out the back comes Mason. Sends this one to the near side. Nice chest mark taken by Anderson. He is showing himself all over the ground. He has been the glue in the middle, sending this one in, looking for DePina. 1-on-1 contest. That was a good contest. Ball stayed in play. Going to get picked up, and being bowled out of bounds was Gelati. And we'll have a boundary throw-in in the American left half forward flank. Payable Apps scoreboard, helping sports teams simplify fee collection through their Google add-ons. PayableApps.com. U.S. leads 46-45. Ball comes circumnavigating itself back into the field of play. Ball goes to ground. Going to get picked up. Big handball up. Going to get picked up by Mason. Big tackle put in there. Ball cried the crowd. My ball, says the umpire. On the Either Sports side of the ground, Americans up by 1.
Let me tell you how things are serious at the moment for the Irish Warriors. I looked at their bench and there's literally only one player standing up ready to come on at any given time. They are banged up, the Warriors, and I think a few that might be a bit iffy on the injuries, like Murphy, are saying let's just put the queue on the rack for the rest of the game and worry about the semi-finals coming up on Friday. As the ball gets knocked all on the ground, now quickly with the hands of the 19 who tried to give it away. The umpire said no. It's now in the hands of O'Shea. O'Shea now for the Irish. Goes towards their half-forward flank position. I should mention earlier the 19 was Rob Munn. Our numbers are out of order at the moment. They resemble alphabet soup instead of being in like a order of 1 through to 24 for us, as now Munn takes it away and goes up the line with the kick out towards centre wing on the broadcast side. Originally was trying to trap it there was Anderson, but now being taken away by Kevin O'Donnell. O'Donnell with a flat kick towards the half-forward flank position, got away from Darren O'Dwyer, his intended target. Hands were up there by purpose and couldn't stop it. The first bloke, Rob Munn, gave away the hand pass, then goes with a kick up to Jevon Mason. Mason now goes back to Livy. Livy puts the mouth guard back in, then gets on the right boot, close to the boundary line. Mark being taken there by Jacob Gross. He's already kicked 1 so far today. His team leads by a point. Gross now decides to go towards the half-forward flank position. High contact on that occasion being given away by Owen O'Sullivan. American player down after that whack and getting back up again. The number 14.
50.
And a 50-metre penalty for dissent, is it? 50-metre penalty. And that's in the hands of Mark McClure, the monster.
And the Americans on this defensive side, Pete, their numbers. They always have numbers around the ball. They look like the more polished side right now.
I just wish they had their numbers in order when it comes to my team sheet to call off of it. As Mark the Monster McClure having a shot on goal from 25 metres out, 45-degree angle. If he kicks it, it won't put the game to bed, but it'll put America in a position where they're more likely to take home the 4 premiership points. Coming in, Mark the Monster McClure. Shot on goal, stays out right, it comes back only a little bit for a minor score. This game still well and truly alive. Ireland only need the one straight kick to hit the front. USA 7-5-47, Ireland 6-9-45.
Don't go anywhere. We've got an exciting last 6 minutes to go here. U.S. leads by 2 points again. They haven't won since the third place game in 2005 at the International Cup. It's been 19 years. Ball gets marked over the top. Here is Liam Dineen. He's been their standout player for mine. He's going to play it up to the far side. 2-on-1 contest. Not got backward. Went through Linfeld. Ireland has numbers out the back. Long handball. Phillips was there to knock it away. Didn't get rewarded with the possession. There is McGettigan, who is in there, and throw a blanket over a half a dozen players. Will have a ball up as everyone was down mushroom farming. U.S. now in defense. This has been the best game of the tournament that I have seen so far. Might put it up there with Canada, Great Britain on the women, and Canada and Ireland on the women. It'll be a free kick, and it will go the way of Dan Livy. Livy, who is up in the forward line. We've seen him now moving closer to the back line as he plays up the far side. Ball gets knocked down, goes up on the far side. Mason and DePina forces the errant handball, stays in play, shoving aside him like a hippo off a moon bounce was Owen O'Sullivan, sending this one on the way as the ball drops free. Going to get picked up and cleared out. Americans almost getting the attack there. Going to get picked up by McClure, and McClure rushes forward.
Got the kick away before he got brought down out towards the half-forward line, and all of a sudden there's a foot race on. It's a 1v1 job. Will Bride has been run down. Umpire says holding the football. Tracking him down was Eric Anderson, who said no. It's only John Anderson that is yes. And Eric Anderson will be having a shot on goal from about 40 metres out on a 45-degree angle. 4 minutes remaining in the final term.
And Pete, they were the only two back on that side of the ground, and that was that's the best kind of free kick, because in soccer we would call that a dog so, because it was just one-on-one, but instead now he has to take the free kick from 40 out.
I tell you what, Eric Anderson was like a little Scottish terrier, and Will Bryan was the postman. Just ran him down. In comes Anderson, shot on goal. Is this the ball game, I ask you? Anderson gets on the scoreboard, and the USA go to 8-5-53. Ireland 6-9-45. 3.5 minutes remaining, final turn for Payable apps.
Oh my goodness. Well, you know what? I think this is a combination of two things. I don't want to take anything away from the U.S. Ireland, I think you're absolutely right. This, I don't think, is going to affect them making it to the semifinal. I still think they're giving it all out there, but I think with the amount of injuries they have, I think they're playing it a little bit cautious. But the U.S., they want to see out the victory here. They have not let up one iota, and I love this move. A brilliant piece of strategy by Kyle Strensky to move Anderson into the forward line. He may very well be the Payable apps, or rather the Powerwood MVP of the game as we play up on the far side once again. U.S. leading by 8. A free kick to Great Britain, but it's not over.
Ireland.
It is not over for Ireland. Not over, Red Rover. 2.5 to go. Sent in the middle of the ground. Plays off a player. There is Phillips, who dropped the fill. Running through is McKinney. He is dogged after the football and staying with it. Up to the far side, went around. Off of 1 foot goes Casey. Sends it inside 50. One-on-one contest. Going after it and getting it. And now getting away there, trying to play it free.
Throw.
What he claimed, no, is a throw. And Ireland will have a free kick opportunity. 20 meters out, about 75 degrees around.
Darren O'Dwyer with a very difficult shot. The breeze swirly here at the moment, changing frequently. Winds have changed scorpions, you could say. As he comes in, Darren O'Dwyer has a ping on goal. The goal umpire's not moving. I think he's got it. That's a contender for the Payable Labs goal of the tournament. The goal umpire waits for the all clear. He has us in suspense. Just give us the 2 fingers, bloke. Get it on.
We still are waiting.
We're waiting for the all clear. Now we've got it. And he just killed 10 seconds on the clock as well, which won't make the Irish happy. 7-9-51 Ireland. The USA 8-5-53. By the time the ball comes up, we'll have 60 seconds remaining in this contest.
Oh my goodness, we said it wasn't quite over, Red Rover, and there is still plenty of time for each of these teams to go the other way. What do you do if you're the USA? Do you send more players back, or do you play it as normal? They get the knock forward. There is Phillips, who was tackled in there by Bryan. USA has it now. Ireland does. Good kick forward there by Livy. Ball gets knocked down. Going to get picked up. It rolls along the ground. Going to get picked up by Gigliotti. Gigliotti stays with it and kills more time. 45 seconds to go as Linehan sends it into the top of the goal square. Ireland has 180 meters to go in less than a minute. Ball stays back in play. Going to get cleared out by Alan Daly, who sends that one to the near side. Ball goes up to the near side. Soccered off the ground right in front of us. It'll roll, it'll skip, it'll hop. Munn is able to shoulder his opponent out of the way. He stays on it in front of it. Now handballs it back, looking for Gray. Gray was taken down. He's trying to get it out. Ball up in front of us, 20 seconds away from a U.S. victory. Can Ireland have one last roll of the dice?
And they're going to throw the football up. Going up in the contest is James Daly for the Irish. They almost had hands on it. Dropping it there was O'Shea. Umpire blows the whistle again. Calls for yet another ball up. Being held up there is Keith Phillips with the football. Under 5 seconds remaining in this contest. There it is! For the first time since 2005, the USA Revolution have defeated the Irish Warriors 8-5-53 to 7-9-51. What celebration here. This is not the final. This is only game 3. That's the pool round of the competition. But the drought has been so long for the USA. What a momentum builder for them heading into the semi-final stage. For the Irish, well, as we said, injuries galore for them. Very battle weary. And they've got to find a way to try and get back up off the deck for when they'll face Great Britain in the semi-finals.
And this is a huge momentum boost into a semi-final against most likely Canada in 2 days' time. But this is a big, gritty win by this USA side. And let me tell you something, Peter Holden, I've been watching this team for more than a decade. That is probably one of the most impressive wins I have seen this Revolution team get, and they did not give up. Ireland, I think they, like you said, they were battle weary. Some of their best players not on the ground, but take nothing away from either side. This was an arm wrestle from ball up to the final siren.
We've been talking about this tournament. The fittest side is going to win. And at the moment, it's the USA that had the fit bodies that got them through with that burst of speed. Because it showed in the final quarter score, Brian, if you look at it, 3 goals won to 1 goal straight. They had the fresh legs. They had the momentum behind them.
And the other thing is just kicking straight and avoiding the pressure. That's 16 scoring shots to 13 for Ireland. but the U.S. had them straight, especially in that last term in that swirling wind. And, just looking at some of the names, Gabriel Martin Del Campo probably played the best game I've seen him play for club or country, netting 2 goals. But I think the turning point, especially in that fourth quarter, was getting Eric Anderson up in that forward line. He really grabbed the scruff of the game by the scruff of its neck and gave it a big, wet, sloppy kiss.
I'll give you a moment to consider your Powerwood MVP. Custom city supplies done right. Powerwood.com. I'll go through the goal kickers. For the USA Revolution, 2 to Gabe Martin Del Campo. Singles to DePina, Linehan, Mason, Gross, Anderson, and McClure. On the Irish side, it was 2 each to Dunn and O'Donnell. Singles to Quigley, O'Dwyer, and O'Connell. So for Powerwood, Brian Barish, who is your MVP?
It was Davis, California native Eric Anderson, the number 11, who played great in the back line and kicked what wasn't the game-winning goal, but really put his team on top. It was an important goal down the stretch. In fact, it was the game-winning goal. And he is your Powerwood MVP, the man from the Sacramento Suns. And let me tell you, he is probably, maybe with the exception of Max DePina, he, for mine, has been the tournament MVP for the Revolution. They still have 2 more games to play, but he's one of the biggest reasons they've been in all 3 games thus far.
Thank you very much to Brian Barish for your work today on comments. I know you've got to do a lot for the USAFL.com website after this and write up a report for an historic occasion, the first time in 19 years that the USA have beaten Ireland. We've got plenty coming up here at the moment. We have got France versus Canada at 11:45 a.m. local time. And then at 2 p.m. we have got Colombia and Great Britain. That's all to come here on day 6. You can see that the camera's zoomed in on the Americans. This means a lot to them as they hit the semi-final stage. And how things are looking at the moment, we're probably going to have a USA-Canada semi-final and an Ireland-Great Britain semi-final. That action all happening on Friday for the men. For the women, that action happens tomorrow. I'm Peter Holden on behalf of the There Live broadcast team. Thanks for your company during Game 1. Stick around. Coming up at 11:45, it's Canada versus France.